Hey, happy day 795 of What's She Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom, is who I am, who I've been for, 25 plus years. Before that, I was Sharon Horne. Of course, then I got married, and now I'm divorced, and I just kept the long name. Once you get used to it, I'll never forget when I did the hyphenated name, like a week after I got married, I thought, oh my God, what was I thinking? Why did I hyphenate my name? And now I'm like, oh, I like SHE initials better than SAH, so I'm just going to keep it. And I don't feel like going through the hassle of changing and everything, because you know what? My name is on everything, and it just doesn't seem worth the effort, and I kind of like the name. So I've gotten used to it. Plus, Sharon Horne, there's like, I don't know, at least 30 or 40 Sharon Hornes on Facebook anyway, so it's a way to differentiate myself. Just be myself and keep my long hyphenated name. So what are we talking about today? Doubt and fighting tooth and nail. Fight tooth and nail was the idiom that I explored for Supersize Your Business today, or it's kind of like Save Your Business these days, but it can go either way, because some businesses and some people I work with are just kicking and rearing and taking names because they're swamped, and other businesses are totally and completely shut down right now. So to deal with and help the people that are shut down and displaced and don't know what to do, I started yesterday, without much thought and very little planning, another 30-day challenge called Get Up and Go. Set up the page, set up the group, did the first lesson yesterday. We'll do the second one today. And last night, as I was getting ready to do the second lesson, I started to have feelings of doubt. Doubt crept in, and maybe it was because, I think it was because I was tired. It was a long day. Hung out with my granddaughter, and we went for a nice long walk, and we did sidewalk chalk for an hour or so, and did little paw prints all over in trails up the sidewalk, which we had a stencil, so it was really fun. We did colored paw prints everywhere. It was super fun, but it was also really exhausting and tiring, and my old knees don't like concrete as much as they used to, so it gets all down there drawing the sidewalk chalk. But we had a lot of fun, and that's my intention with her throughout this pandemic, is to make sure that she feels safe and secure, loved, and that she's having fun. And frankly, guess what? If she's having fun, Grandma's having fun too. So it's win-win. But sometimes at the end of the day, I am absolutely positively tired out and exhausted. So that's when doubts and worry and fear and anxiety and other feelings, other negative feelings, can creep in for me and for anybody else. When we're tired or bored or hungry, that's when I think we're at tired and sleepy. We're at a low ebb, and that's when the things that can niggle into us and bother us start to creep in. So I started to doubt whether I should be doing the Get Up and Go challenge or not. And I'm like, no, I should be doing the Get Up and Go challenge. But I was just tired, and I didn't want to pick. I already had the topics in mind, because I mapped out the topics, when I first decided I was going to do it. So I knew what the topic was, but I was looking for some backup sources, some fun things, some fun activities to add to the whole concept for the day's activity. And that's when I started to get a little doubtful. And then I said, nope, I'll find something. So I just kept looking with my handy dandy magnifying glass, and of course I found something. So we'll go ahead and do day 2 of the Get Up and Go challenge today. Why Get Up and Go? Well, I needed some more get up and go and a little kick in the butt, and I think a lot of people do too, especially as we went from that this is going to be a couple weeks pandemic, and it's going to impact our entire lives for a couple of weeks, to it's going to be another month. When the president announced that it was going to be till April 30th, and we were still in March, I, like many people, wasn't shocked, and I wasn't really surprised, because we don't know how health things are going to impact our world and impact what we need to do to all stay safe and take care of one another. So I wasn't shocked that we needed another month, because frankly, depending on where you were in the country, depended how quickly you made changes and did physical separation and did the things that we needed to do. And so different parts of the country are being affected, in this big wave. And so I wasn't surprised by that, but I was surprised that, okay, now we got to get psyched up for another 30 days of what we're going to do. And so the fastest and the easiest way for me to deal with any new challenge is to actually make it a challenge. So that's why I did and am doing the Get Up and Go challenge. I started a Facebook page and a Facebook group to do it on, because I like to record on live on Facebook pages. It's just a little bit less scary, right? It's less scary, and we do things that help us be more comfortable. So, you know, everybody, we all have these moments of fear and worry and doubt and anxiety and depression and whatever else. And for me, a long time ago, I learned that I can feel those things, and I can feel really bad, and I can make myself miserable because I can stack a whole bunch of stuff onto that, and I can add all the things and all the reasons that I failed and things haven't worked out for me in the past, and I can get myself into a really huge pity party. Or I can take a deep breath, I can change something, like usually what I'm doing. Usually I will stand up, go outside, turn on some music, listen to a meditation. I can do something to actually instantly change my thinking and focus on something else. If I focus on something else, or maybe I turn on a comedy or a funny show or something, or call somebody. I can phone a friend or something and talk to somebody and find out how they're doing. Because when I'm interested in other people, I'm not fretting and worrying about, you know, myself. So whatever I can do the quickest to get me out of that funk or where I'm going in that negative train of thought, the better. The faster and quicker I can switch gears by doing something else and changing either my physiology or what I'm thinking about. And usually the the easiest thing should be to change what we're thinking about, but that's usually the hardest thing, right? Once we get on that train of thought and we start piling crap onto our little red wagon, pretty soon we're on a roll, and it's like we're like the wagon's going over the roller coaster, and we're just going down, 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 down. And so the faster I can do something physically or take some action to stop that, usually the better. I wish I could just say I could change a thought and I could think about a pretty thing, but I'm not that disciplined, and I think that's harder. It's actually harder than it is to physically do something. So I usually will physically do something. So yesterday I put on a weird movie. It was actually not a good, happy movie. It was some vampire thing, but I wasn't listening to it anyway because I was looking for a resource for the Get Up and Go challenge, which I found. The challenge for me personally with challenges is the resources that I used to go through when I did challenges are written documents and my notebooks and things. And as my vision's gotten really funky, and pretty much gone, it makes it really hard for me to go and access those resources myself. You have to hire an assistant or somebody that, once the pandemic's over, that can come in and go through all my stuff and look for and find and maybe catalog or find different ways of making it possible for me to assess that information so that I don't get frustrated. I try not to get frustrated. I have noticed that my ability to handle computer and technological frustration has gone down significantly since the pandemic. I used to get frustrated when stuff wouldn't work or when stuff changed all the time. Now I'm just grateful to have it, and so I don't get frustrated by it. So there's a win. It's a win-win from the pandemic. So working on the Get Up and Go challenge, hanging out with my amazing 4-year-old granddaughter, helping people to pivot and make sure that as they come out of this pandemic or the situation, whatever it is for them, that they come out better than they went in. Now that's a big promise, right? If you went into the pandemic and you had a great job and were clicking along, and all of a sudden you don't have a job, that's a big promise. But it's extremely doable for each and every one of us if we decide to fight tooth and nail for what we want, and to use this time to pivot and change to make sure as we come out of this pandemic, no matter what it's going to look like for any of us, that we are okay, that we are setting ourselves up to win. I don't know about you, but I'm curious if other people have had major perceptive shifts about different things in our world. I know I've had a couple. As far as time as a resource and all of our resources, I've had a different take on all of our resources now, like time and money and all the things that we think are important. And I have not increased my value or my thought about toilet paper, although many people have. But I found that I have a whole different way of looking at time and money and resources and the ability to get things done. And resourcefulness versus resources, I think, has really gotten to be even more important for me. I also have gotten a whole different perspective on the whole competitive thing and competition, and that it really truly is a world that we live in that if we're being ourselves, we don't have to worry about competition at all. We just have to be ourselves. So different perspective. Would love to know if people have had perception shifts or changed the way they look at certain things or certain situations differently. I look at caution tape differently. Once they came in our town and caution taped off all the playground equipment in the park nearby, and my granddaughter and I can walk through the park and just look at the equipment and all the fun things that we used to play on. We can't actually go on them right now because they're shut down by the government. And I don't really want to spend 30 days in jail or pay a bunch of money because because I want to play on the playground equipment. Not necessary. And the other thing is the caution tape. I've noticed that started caution taping homes in our area. So I'm assuming, I don't know for sure, but I'm assuming that it means that people in that home have COVID-19, and that's just really if there's a house a block away that's all caution taped up, and it's just really creepy and kind of weird. So change my perception about caution tape. That's it. That's all I've got today. As I'm so grateful that I transitioned from the brick and mortar world and the corporate world to the online world a couple of years ago. I'm sure that it's part of why I'm feeling a lot more centered and grounded than I would be had I not made that shift. But if I can help you in any way, ask. Hit me up in the comments below. Again, if you're somebody that has lost your job or your business has shut down and you're looking for, you're wondering what the heck you're going to do, hop on and join us for the Get Up and Go Challenge. I guarantee that by the end of the challenge, by the end of April, you will feel so much better and be so much better off than you are feeling and being today at the beginning of the month. Hands down, absolutely positively guarantee it. Right? Have an amazing day. If I can help you, ask. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow. Bye.